The stories in gacha games are garbage, and I'm going to be here proving to you why they're trash in the first place, mathematically, scientifically, historically, with facts and logic. You see, I've played a few gacha games here and there, and I've painstakingly watched most of their stories to confirm this thesis of mine, so I know what I'm talking about. So let me just give a quick rundown using Genshin as the example, since it's the most popular, and it's what most people consider to be the best at storytelling. And also, don't take this as me bashing on Genshin, because most of them share the same septic tank. And also, I'm not going to include gacha games that were based off pre-existing stories, because the praises and compliments for their writing would go to the actual authors. Okay, so let's begin. The protagonist is dumb, like literally, so there's like zero character development. Paimon is the Brock of Genshin Impact, a literal info dumper. And expose, the main characters act like NPCs. The NPCs are the main characters. They don't kill off playable characters, even the bad ones, so there's no stakes nor tension. The female characters are double to that of their male counterparts, but most of them just fall under fan service, or the traveler's love interest, or the copy-pasted workaholic trope, or the worst one of them all, the forgotten ones. Like most of them are not even relevant to the main story. And yes, no one's going to read their autobiography to understand them. Like, this isn't Hunter x Hunter, this ain't a novel, and this surely ain't an audiobook. This is an open-world action RPG game, so the story has to be told through this medium. Okay, so now that I proved how shit the story is, let me explain you why it is this way and why it's never going to change. The answer is quite simple actually. Drumroll please. It's money. Yes, it's as simple as that. Cold hard cash. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe. Okay, so anyways, let me actually break it down for you on a molecular level. But before that, you need to honestly ask yourself what the main goal of a gacha game is. Is it to A, tell an amazing story, B, to who the hell am I kidding? I already told you the answer. Is to make as much freaking money as possible using the most borderline illegal shit that you can think of, psychologically tricking you into spending all your life savings, tapping into your most bunga part of your brain, triggering the neurons down in your crotch, making you moan over getting a child that you'll probably beat off to, turning you into a gambling addict, and making sure that you do not touch grass, because if you do, they lose a customer. You see, gacha games are predatory by nature, and they do not give a damn about the story. And I'm very sorry to tell you this, but the story in these gacha games are nothing but big advertising campaigns. Similar to shows like, say, Beyblade, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Super. Shows like this just exist to sell merchandise. Like, think about it, why the hell did we get so many colorful transformations in Dragon Ball Super? It's to sell toys. And the stories in gacha games are the same. Their main purpose is to sell characters. And you might be asking, why the hell can they not advertise and tell a good story at the same time? Well, the answer is, they can't.
Why?
Don't worry, I'm going to explain why they can't on a molecular level. Ah yes, the protagonist, the character with the most screen time and dialogue, the hero of our journey who has motivations, dreams and ambitions, character traits that we all can relate to or want to become, the character that gets a new drip every now and then to show that he has grown or take regular showers. The character who is almost always the fan favorite, even when they do go on to commit genocides. That's a protagonist. Remove all that and we get Lumine or Aether, or whoever the hell you chose. It doesn't matter, they both suck. It's like almost no thought has been put into him. He doesn't speak, he makes dumb decisions. We're almost 4 years into this, and we still hardly know anything about him. In fact, we don't even know what he's thinking about. And they say this was done intentionally so that we can self-insert. But that makes even less sense, because we can't change the course of the story. The story is linear. There are no multiple endings. We don't have any influence over the characters or have consequences for our actions. And to be honest, we don't even have any any options at all. We only have the illusion of choice. So the question would be, why not just make him an actual character whose journey we can experience instead of an empty husk for us to self-insert? You see, the answer is quite simple. They do not want you to care about the main character or be emotionally attached to him, because he ain't making MiHoYo any money. Making you care about him through storytelling, character development, and actual power-ups is going to make you want to use him more, see him more, and know him more. And MiHoYo doesn't want that. They want you to care about the next new shiny character. And this is also why they made him suck in-game. Like, imagine this, a C6 5-star character who's the protagonist of the show, who gets power-ups throughout the story and is considered to be the strongest, is weaker than every 4-star character. Like, how the hell can I be invested in a story where the MC is this bad? And even in the story, he lost against everyone except for Signora the second time. Like, he has more L's than Yamcha. And yes, of course, he's searching for his sister. In most fictional stories, we usually have a cast of important characters that stick around and travel alongside the main character. And this is usually done to add different personalities, to create stakes and drama, to create bonds and relationship, to develop characters and build the world, and not to feel so lonely. And so who do we have in Genshin? Paimon. Yup, that's it. Just her.
Oh hell no!
And what makes this even worse is that our MC is an empty shell. So yeah, basically Paimon is the main character who is technically traveling alone. Wow, no wonder this game falls flat and feels so boring. Like, this would be the equivalent of watching One Piece, but it's just Luffy for 1,000 chapters. Or watching Dragon Ball Z, but it's just Goku. The story would suck. Even Guts, who is considered the most reserved, lone wolf, antisocial character, realized that, hey, maybe it is a lot better traveling with companions. But on the other hand, MiHoYo was like, fuck that, Paimon is all you need. And it's not like we have a shortage of characters that are not bound by duties or responsibilities. We have plenty of them. We got Bennett, Fischl, Changli, Razor, all interesting and quirky characters. But no, just Paimon.
Hello, darkness, my old...
And so the question would be, why did they do this? And the answer is similar to the first one. They don't want you to have any attachments to any character. They just want you to meet a few characters that are obviously on the banner, like them enough to spend money on them, and then quickly forget about them because there's gonna be a new batch of characters waiting for you in the future for you to spend your money on. Like, this is the equivalent of having constant rebounds. You do this enough times and you're just left empty by the end. We have a lot of side characters in this game. Some are good, some are bad, some are trash, and some of them are straight up irrelevant. And like I said earlier, the women in this game fall under 3 categories: the love interest, the workaholic, and the fan service. And I really don't understand why everyone just falls for me immediately. Like, it just feels so forced.
I know just as well as anybody else that I've got no friends.
What about Toma? And it's not like we don't have good characters with compelling backstories and character moments. We do, but most of them are just written down somewhere or just told to us through a PowerPoint presentation. And damn, you'd expect us to know more about these characters through their story quest. But no, you get story quests about NPCs. Like, why not have the story quest revolve around the actual characters? It's not like we don't have the material. Oh yeah, they won't do it because it will actually cost them a lot of money to animate or recreate the flashback. Show them the PowerPoint. But, even that doesn't hold a candle to the thing I hate most about the stories in gacha games, which is them not being able to kill off any characters, even the evil ones, just because they are playable. Well, not all the time, good for them. Like, that decision alone removes all the stakes and tension. Like, damn, most of the characters are irrelevant or are going to be irrelevant, so why not just give them a meaningful death? But no, instead they'll double down on this and try to redeem a literal dictator, like, hey, you're literally out on a date with Hitler, but she's cute so there's no problem. Hey, another mass murderer just turned into a good person after a bit of talk no jutsu. Hey, another hot evil character just might be another misunderstood person dealing with trauma. Play that PowerPoint flashback or write it down somewhere and call it a day. You see, screen time is very important for any character. The more screen time a character gets, the more we get to know them, and in turn, like them, or hate them, or neither because of how poorly they use it. This is the reason why we don't give a damn about some no-named characters dying. This is also why we feel so sad seeing a main character die. And this is also why we find it so orgasmic seeing scumbags getting what they deserve. So in short, my dear friends, screen time is extremely important. And guess what, fellas? Screen time in gacha games are pretty freaking messed up. Especially if you're a 4-star character. And you might be saying, that's normal, not everyone gets screen time. And yes, that is true, but in a gacha game, characters that have hardly anything to do with the story get plenty, if not even more screen time than the actual main characters outside the story. A prime example would be characters like Bennett, Shang Li, Sucrose, Hu Tao, Shinkyu, etc. Characters like this have hardly any screen time in the main story, but they are or were the most popular characters in the game. And this is because of how strong or useful they are. And that is kind of a problem because characters that are strong or are in the meta are always going to be your favorite, even if they have nothing to do with the main plot of the story. And the sad thing is, the vice versa is true as well. Characters that do shit in the game are never going to be as popular or loved by the majority of the people, even if they are very involved in the plot or have good character writing. Take for example Dia, Sino, Beidou, Kaya, Ningguang, throw in our main character as well. Some of them play a very pivotal role in the overarching story or are going to, but no one cares because they suck in-game. And the main reason why I think this keeps happening is because of power creep. The next new character has to be overpowered, otherwise MiHoYo won't make any money. But if you keep doing that, the characters that you built in the past become borderline useless. So it's really hard to tick both boxes. Like, the only characters that I can think of off the top of my head are Kazuha, Zhongli, and Nahida. But yeah, in short, people don't care about the story that much, they only care about the big numbers on the screen. Like, I am being serious here. If the Doctor becomes a playable character that can do millions of damage, people are going to forgive and forget what he did to Collie, even make him team up with her and make fanfiction. Oh, people already have. Oh, and also, you can forget about your favorite characters having any screen time, unless they're planning to sell you a skin or something. So, what have we learned from this? The answer is simple, every gacha game needs a skip button. Wuthering Waves is doing great in that department. And also, we should lower our expectations when it comes to storytelling in gacha games. Like, I haven't even covered most of the world building aspects, along with its plot holes and the atrocious time-limited events that are actually crucial to the main story. And I don't plan to because I ain't got the time. And yeah, that's the end of this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, that's it.